What's Going on Seaville was made possible through donations and services provided by Roxy Daisy, Scarpa,
There's a big white ghost in your brain. It's always on time, it's always the same, but after 35 seconds it's the same.
What's going on, Seaville? Welcome back to another thrilling episode. What do you get when you cross grapes, chocolate, and exotic plants? Well, if you guessed Lady Godiva's boudoir, you're wrong. But if you guessed the Glass House Winery in Free Union, you are correct. And if you guessed incorrect, that means you need to tune into the show to learn about this exciting new boutique winery in Free Union. But before we taste their wine and their chocolate, we are going to cleanse our palates with the hip-shaking music of Beleza Brasil. Oh, and you might want to peel off a layer of clothing, because it is about to get hot in here.
There was a man who walked the mall in Crab Rebellion. His hair was wild, his voice was strong, and he was full of soul. People stared, they mocked, they looked, they said there's something wrong. The gospel he was preaching, child, well, it was ages old. We are the same here. We are the same, you know. We are the same here. We are the same, you know. I wanted to thank him for singing true wisdom, overcoming all the hatred and the differences we have, or disappointment, living all our lives in fear. Lift your head up, see clearly, live truly. We're all here, and the old man cries a stirring song of freedom. Lift your head up, see clearly, live truly. We're all here, and the old man cries a stirring song of freedom. Whoa! Tenho uma namorada viva no interior. Maria das Mercedes, linda como beija-flor. Ontem eu recebi carta dela cheirando a flor. Negro, estou intacta, pura, vou te por favor. Lá pros 40, lá pros 40 eu vou. Lá pros 40, lá pros 40 eu vou. Eu quis escrever pro velho endereço sobre tudo que eu conheço da cidade grande, como fui em Palma, esqueci o seu sobrenome. Sertaneira, morena, ferreira, só sei que acaba com era, como aquela bananeira. Sertaneira, morena, ferreira, só sei que acaba com era, como aquela bananeira.
Did I lie? Was that hot? Welcome to the show, Madeline Umberto Sales. Can I call you that?
Sales.
Oh!
Yeah.
You're good. Sales, even hotter than I thought. That was really wonderful. And based on a lot of our past guests, obviously married couples make the most beautiful music together. Do you practice all the time, or does it just come naturally to you now?
It comes naturally.
You just feel the vibes and just go with the flow? Yeah. No, was that an original song?
The lyrics are an original song. It's a Brazilian samba, and interestingly enough, I wrote it about a man who walked on the downtown mall protesting several years ago. I still don't know his name, and I hadn't seen him for so long, and I was almost afraid. He was an older gentleman that he had passed, and I just saw him.
Oh, you're kidding.
Earlier this week with an Occupy.
Did you stop
sign protesting? No, I just thought, whew.
He's still around. That is funny. He would be thrilled to know that you wrote a song about him.
Yeah, I should have stopped him.
You should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go up and just start playing it for him. So tell me about your concerts. You play all over the world, and you live in Charlottesville. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Charlottesville is great. We feel really happy being in this area. It's such a nice place to live. I have family here. That's what brought us here originally, coming back from Brazil. Yeah, and we play around. Luckily, we get to play at the Glass House, and I know you all will find out about that soon. It's a great place to hear music and eat and drink. We have been playing, we're going to take a winter break, but we've been playing once a month at Maya restaurant on Main Street. We play at Bashir's Tavern, and we'll be there this coming Friday, actually with a tabla player. It's an Indian percussive instrument, so it'll be an interesting mix of Brazilian.
What is that? What does it look like?
It's like two little percussion. And
two small drums.
So
the person usually sits down
fingers, yeah.
and plays them
that's exciting.
with their fingers.
It's a whole other vibe.
Yeah, there'll be a belly dancer, a tabla player. We'll be playing.
I love belly dancers.
Yeah.
And we participate in a Spanish flamenco group called Toma que Toma as well, and that has huergas or jam sessions every other Thursday at Maya as well.
Oh, and that's open to the public.
Also open to the public, yeah.
That's fabulous. Now, on your website, you refer to your music, or maybe someone else referred to it as funkalicious samba.
Yeah. That
is a cool genre. I like
one
that.
One of our friends came up with that. Actually, Coley, who is a DJ at WTJU, we were asking people to describe what they consider our genre, because we do some samba, we do a little funk and soul and
reggae and all of it.
Things from everywhere. And a friend of ours came up and he said, I think it's funkalicious samba soul. And I said, I like it. We'll get it on the next recording.
It's wonderful. And you come up with your own unique sound with all these other influences, right?
Yeah. Well, it's the creation of these other influences. We have diverse musical interests, and Berto's from Salvador Bahia, Brazil. That's where we met. And I'm American, despite everyone's belief that it's the opposite.
Yeah.
And we both enjoy many styles of international music as well as my home roots music, and just it all comes together into what we do.
It's hot. I love it. I love you guys so much. Where can my viewers see you? Like on social media, website? I mean, how can they follow your journey and where you're playing?
On the
CDs.
websites, yeah, we have CDs. So the website is belezamusic.com. We are on Facebook, MySpace, YouTube, everywhere. iTunes,
it's Beleza
CD
Music
Baby,
for Facebook
Amazon,
as well.
And we are here in town in Charlottesville playing at Maya restaurant at Bashir's Taverna once a month.
Mm-hmm.
Fabulous.
One of our fun, interesting gigs that's coming up that is associated with the community and the university, but really anyone can go on this journey. They are voyages that the Semester at Sea is a program that the university is associated with. And often students, not just University of Virginia students, but other students will go around the world, literally, within a semester. And so this ship, the MV Explorer, also has enrichment voyages in the 3-week intervals between semesters. So we participated on one last December as well as May, going through the Panama Canal around Central America. This year, starting in December into January, they're starting in the Bahamas, hopping down Caribbean islands, going into the Amazon River in Brazil and back up. And so we're going to play on that. I'm going to give a few dance lessons. He's going to lecture about Afro-Brazilian music, Afro-Caribbean music.
You're going to have to come back and tell us all about that after that. But thank you so much for coming. Stay tuned for Glass House Winery. Well, I am sitting here with Jeff and Michelle Sanders, who are the owners of Glass House Winery, and apparently magicians, because I have magically appeared a glass of wine in my hand. Thank you very much. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I would toast you.
Cheers.
Well, I'll toast you, but I'll pretend to toast you. So why don't we start right here?
It's a good place.
Yes, tell me what I'm drinking, and then I've got all sorts of fun questions to ask you.
Well, this is our civilian, named after, oddly enough, the town of Charlottesville.
How appropriate.
And it's a red table wine made mainly with Chamberson, big, jammy, upfront, fruit forward, lots of fun.
Let's see, fruit forward.
So you can smell the fruit.
Delicious.
Thank you.
Delicious. Can you tell me a little bit about the grape?
Chambourcin is a hybrid grape. It's a French-American hybrid that is pretty easy to grow in Virginia. Resistant to almost all the problems we have here. The negative about Chambourcin is it doesn't have a back end, and so we blend 30% Merlot and 10% Cabernet Franc into this, so that you get the Chambourcin up front, and then you get a more complex wine on the back.
Smart.
Yes.
So that leads me to my next question. Pharmaceutical benefit manager in Honduras, right? You come to Charlottesville and all of a sudden it's wine, exotic plants, and chocolate. How did that happen?
Well, I was in pharmaceutical benefit management in the U.S. I was able to work over the internet, so we moved to Honduras to live on a beach.
Life is tough.
Where I fell in love with tropical plants, and therefore had to bring that hobby back with us when our kids were of school age and we needed to get back to a more normal life.
So, Michelle, did you learn about chocolates?
I learned about chocolates about 17 years ago, and what happened honestly was I went to a bookstore and there was a book that jumped off the shelves and stuck to my hands, and I couldn't let go of it. I just couldn't get it to go back on the shelf. It's called The Chocolate Bible.
Was it sticky?
Very sticky, yeah, very chocolatey. And I ended up buying it and bringing it home and making almost every recipe in it, and I was just hooked. So unfortunately, when we lived on the island off the coast of Honduras, I couldn't make chocolates because once you melt chocolate, it would never reset in that
Oh, you're kidding.
hot, humid environment with all the salt in the air. It never reset properly. So for 3.5 years, I wasn't able to make chocolate. So when I got back, I was just itching to get back into it. Yeah.
So when you decided that you decided to move off of, would you say off of Honduras for your kids mainly, right?
Mainly.
And you had to make a decision about where to go next.
Yeah.
So tell me about why how did you pick Charlottesville?
Well, we wanted to go to a small town with a lot to do.
Right.
That we'd gotten used to a smaller place where we knew people, and so we didn't want to go back to a big city.
Right.
We were interested in wine, so we were looking at small cities, wine growing regions. We had a certain climate definition. We actually went to 5 or 6 places to look. We went to San Luis Obispo, Central Coast of California. We tried to go to Oregon, but there were no planes landing because it was raining too hard. And Omen.
Right?
We looked at Sonoma.
Sonoma.
We actually looked down at Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and we came to Charlottesville.
Good old Charlottesville won out.
And it was
Hands down.
The schools were superb, the public schools were superb, and the town knocked our socks off.
That is wonderful to hear. That's how I feel
It was
too.
an easy decision.
Yep.
Yeah. And so you got into, did you know right away that you wanted to go into wine and chocolates, or did that sort of all come together as like the perfect storm?
We were interested in it, but it came together kind of,
That's well put.
yeah.
The perfect
Yeah.
storm. So I want to know a little bit more about how you warm and cool your winery and the greenhouse, because you built a greenhouse on the property that you bought in Free Union.
That's a great question.
Right.
So tell me a little bit about that process.
Well, we use electric air conditioners and heaters, but we use geothermal to run it, and that cuts the electric bill for those things by 50 to 70%.
Wow.
And with the greenhouse, it's a 2,000 square foot glass conservatory that we keep fully heated in the winter and fully air conditioned in the summer. It could be quite expensive, but it really isn't because of the geothermal, and it's worked wonderfully.
And you use the little lake that you have on your property, right?
Right. You can drill into the ground for geothermal, but if you have a lake that's deep enough, you can put the loop at the bottom of the lake. It's a closed loop. You're not taking water out of the lake, but you're using the lake to change the temperature of the liquid that flows through it, and that's what we use.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
It's over my head, but it's totally fascinating.
It's over my head too, but it works.
But it works. Yeah.
Well, I want to hear a bit about your wine club, which I am a proud member of, I would like to say. And while we're doing that, shall we pop open the Viognier and taste a little bit of that? Because that's one of my favorites.
Oh, you put your glass down. Great.
Yeah, so the wine club, you have 2 shipments of wine a year for your wine club members.
Correct.
And also, do they also get a special benefit of helping you at the winery as well, like newsletters to come and help stomp grapes or pick grapes? And
They get invited to do things like that. We have dinners for them occasionally. A free glass of wine on their birthday, free
That's always
tastings.
good. Yeah, the free tastings, that really blows my mind.
Yeah, if you come
With a
every once in
guest,
a while,
right?
it's worth it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
That's fabulous. And you have a wonderful wine club member person
We do.
who's in the audience.
She is. Hi, Paulette Musselman.
So this is our Viognier, and
Ooh.
we can highlight the fact that we're the only winery in Virginia to use glass closures. So it's not a cork and it's not a screw cap, but it's like a glass cork. And there are a couple other wineries in the U.S. and many in Germany that use it, and we're just trying it. It matches our glass house.
And you can reuse them,
They're reusable.
right? So that's environmentally friendly.
Yep.
Yes.
We're always
There you
looking for
go.
the angle. Thank you very much. So you said the only winery in Virginia to use them.
Yes, we are.
And only a few other people in America use them.
Right.
What are there any other benefits to it, or is it just aesthetically pleasing? Or?
Well, enologically, it's the same thing as a screw cap. So you'll get less wine going bad with this closure than you will with a cork. So that is an advantage. That's the same advantage you get with a screw cap.
Okay.
And then relative to a screw cap, we just think it's classier.
It's very cool.
It's elegant. We love the
I
elegance
love
of it.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. So let's talk about the Viognier a little bit. Tell me about this.
So Viognier is
very
Virginia's
fragrant.
white grape. This is a very fruity floral wine that's typical of a good Viognier. In our case, which isn't typical of a good Viognier, the fruits and the florals are more tropical in nature. And that's a coincidence.
Oh, really?
I like that
You
coincidence.
get mango, banana, pineapple off this.
that's
You also
all
get
my
some
favorite.
citrus, but this has got all sorts of flavor and interest, and it's a food wine more than a summer sipping wine.
Do you get the pineapple?
Oh, it's delicious.
Maybe a little
Yes,
banana?
oh my gosh. And those are my favorite fruits, so that's amazing.
That's perfect.
It's just lovely. So I want to know, how long did it take you to get to a point where you knew how to do this? And do you have help at the winery?
Lots of help. And we'll let you know when we get there.
Okay, I love that. I love that.
We're learning. That's
Always
part of the
learning.
reason we wanted this. We wanted to try to keep ourselves young and learn something new.
Well, it really feels like you're having people in your living room. I mean, if your living room was a glass house with exotic plants in it, but you know, you have entertainment. How many nights a week? Is it 2 nights a week?
Usually it's one.
Oh, Friday nights, right?
Sometimes it's Friday nights in the summer usually, and then we switch to Sunday afternoons in the winter just because of the light.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yep.
And you have extended hours, right? So you're open all day.
We're open from noon to 9 on Fridays. That's the extended hour day, and then we're open Saturday and Sunday from noon to 6 on Saturday and 5 on Sunday.
And you have your guest musicians, and people are allowed to bring food into the
Yes,
wine. I want to call it the
picnics.
glass house. Can I call it the glass
Yes,
house?
we call it the glass
Oh,
house,
good.
yeah.
Okay, not the greenhouse.
The glass house.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
Yeah, we encourage picnics, and people love that. Absolutely love that.
It's a gorgeous spot. The
Yeah.
glass house is gorgeous, but also there's a lake. We overlook a lake and under a mountain, and it's really a
And
pretty spot.
you both are very involved.
Very involved.
You're always there, and it's
Yeah.
just fun to have you there to chat with.
Yeah, thank you.
I just want to talk about your chocolates.
Okay,
because
I can talk
love
about that.
chocolates.
Me too.
Why don't you open it?
Yeah, open it.
Yeah. So you went crazy when you arrived in America, when you were able to
I
finally make
did.
them.
I was able to make them again. So this is a box of my chocolates.
You're
and
a fast learner.
I make all sorts of kinds, but what I offer for sale is 4 kinds, and it comes in a nice box with our logo on the front. I make a wine cream, which has the chocolate that was steeped in our dessert wine infused into a buttercream center. This one is espresso Kahlua ganache. This one is Earl Grey tea ganache, and this one is salted caramel.
Oh my
So which one would you
goodness.
like to try first?
All of them. No. Oh goodness. Pick one for me.
Okay, I'm going to pick the salted caramel for you.
Salted.
Okay.
Thank you. And what about the design?
These are transfer sheets, and it works a little bit like a tattoo. So when I hand dip each chocolate while it's still wet and warm, I press on a transfer sheet made of acrylic, and the design is machined on with colored cocoa butter, so it's fully edible. And then I let it dry completely. When it's completely dry, I just peel that acetate sheet off, and the cocoa butter design has dried into the chocolate.
Oh my God.
Would you like
I
one?
so wish you could taste this right now, but you can't. And the only way you can is by going to Glass House Winery.
That's right. Jeff's favorite is the Earl Grey
This
tea.
is amazing.
Thank you.
It's so rich and the salt and the caramel.
Thank you.
How did you decide on the? Are these your sort of signature flavors?
They are. I make all sorts of flavors, but these are kind of my favorites. And so I just kind of had to narrow it down, and it was not easy to do. But Jeff's favorite is the Earl Grey tea, so that one was an easy choice.
It's very good.
Yeah.
And you actually, your wine members or anybody coming in for a tasting get a few complimentary pieces of
They
chocolate.
get a
right?
sample, of, the chocolate,
chocolate.
yes, and then we sell them in the tasting room in a 12-piece box, a 4-piece box, or singles.
That's smart.
Yeah, and we actually sell a lot of singles. I'm surprised how many people want a piece with their glass of wine. It's nice.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Good gifts too. Really
Yeah.
good gifts.
Yeah.
I'm just so impressed by this. I have to have another sip of wine. Excuse me.
So that one, while you're sipping, I'll tell you, is a handmade caramel infused with white chocolate and sea salt.
It's fabulous.
Thank you.
So tell me about some of the others. Tell me about your favorite.
It's an Earl Grey tea
The Earl
ganache
Grey
center.
tea.
Ganache means basically cream and chocolate, and then you can add a flavor to that if you choose. So the flavor that this one has is the Earl Grey tea, and I steep the tea in the hot cream for 15 minutes and then strain it back out. And that cream is just lovely. It's hard not to just drink it.
Do you dip your? I mean, are you eating and tasting all day long?
Well, not all day long.
I would be 500
It's her
pounds.
job.
I certainly taste every batch just to make sure I'm not.
You have to
doing-
be
yeah,
sure.
I mean, what if I
Absolutely.
put too much salt in or something? I have to.
And
make
what
sure
about
it's
the
good.
wine? Do you taste the wine as you go too?
Well,
I'm going to come and hang out with you guys a
Yeah.
little more.
Not while we're working. But I'll tell you, the most fun thing to do in a winery is to do the blending trials when you're getting ready to bottle your reds, to figure out exactly what proportion of which wines are going to be blended together. So much fun.
And how do you do that? Tell me about that.
Well, this year, we actually invited our wine club to participate.
We did.
And so we had a little bit of food, and
Set this
we
up here.
put together, like, for each of our red wines, 8 or 10 alternatives, and had them all ready to go, and everyone came and tasted, and we had score sheets, and people voted, and we talked
tasted
about it
them
out
blind.
loud. We weren't committing to use what they decided, but we wanted to hear what they said, talk it through, see why they liked things, why they didn't like things.
That's brilliant.
And it was really useful.
It
really
was.
useful, and people
And fun.
had a great time.
That is absolutely brilliant. Well, we're running out of time.
Oh, sorry.
But, it was wonderful having you, and I'm
Thank
happy when
you.
anyone brings me wine and chocolate.
We'll come back.
We'll definitely have you back.
Thank you.
And just quickly, we have one more minute. Can you share with our viewers your address, any social media, websites where they can find you?
5898 Free Union Road, Glass House Winery on Facebook.
GlassHouseWinery.com.
GlassHouseWinery.com.
Well, that's easy peasy.
Yeah.
Cheers. Thank you very
Cheers.
much.
Thank you, Lana.
Oh,
Cheers,
there we go.
Jeff. Don't leave me hanging. Now let's see what's going on in your world.
Love, love is the price of gold.
What's going on, people? I'm Carolyn and I'm gonna hula hoop. And that's what goes on in my world. Bye.
Yeah. Waking up with you is like sunshine on a Saturday. Yeah, waking up with you feels like sunshine on a Saturday. I'm feeling warm and free, right down to the very tips of my toes. I close my eyes and raise my head up to the sky. said I close my eyes and raise my head up to the sky. I got this warm tickling feeling, I really feel that I could fly. Sweet, sweet morning, it's a sweet, sweet morning, and I don't have a particular place to be. And I thank God you're here with me. 'Cause if I had to do it all over again, I know I'd be right here with your arms around me. Place to be, and I thank God you're here with me. 'Cause if I had to do it all over again, I know I'd be right here with your arms around me. Yeah, if I had to do it all over again, I know I'd be right here. I'd be right here with your arms around me. There it is.
The crazies will let you know. The crazies will let you know. Seconds till you know that I never wanted one to hold, but the crazies with the crazies would let you know. The crazies will let you know.
What's Going On Seaville was made possible through donations and services provided by Hollywood Theater Lab, Lighthouse Studio, Roxy Daisy, Scarpa,